All right, all right. Hello, happy Saturday, happy day, happy 21st day of Raising Architects. Okay, so if you saw the thumbnail, then you know who that is that we're getting into today. Okay, uh, listen, I have just loved the list because I really do feel like there are so many things that we can really take in and consider as we are building out what's important to our babies, right? This is their life we are planning here. This is how we are putting things together for them. And so, let me get into it. Some people win power. Very few know what to do with it. Power reveals character. I'm going to say that again because isn't that timely? Power reveals character, but literacy builds it. Welcome back to the Literacy Reset 30 Days of Raising Architects. Today, we reset ethical leadership because the goal is not to just raise powerful children. The goal is to raise children who can be trusted with actual power. All right, let's get into it and make sure you guys can see what I see. Okay. Now, Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years. 27. He lived in a small cell on Robben Island. Hard labor, isolation, limited communication. He could have emerged angry. He could have became bitter. He could have said revenge is now on, right? He could be revenge driven. Most would have. Instead, he emerged disciplined, strategic, committed to reconciliation. When he became president of South Africa in 1994, he did something unthinkable. He invited his former jailers to his inauguration. He chose unity over retaliation. That decision did not happen overnight. It was shaped in prison through reading, through reflection, through disciplined thinking. Mandela studied law. He read history. He analyzed political systems. He wrote letters and essays that clarified his convictions. He trained his mind before he led a nation. That is ethical leadership. Now, we often look at things and say, oh, when it comes to literacy, we're just thinking, typical stuff, reading, math, a little bit of science, a little bit of history. But how we cultivate, how we nourish and nurture our children also plays a part into how they show up when handling literacy and actually handling power too, right? And so with today's hidden principle, I'm trying to make sure y'all can see it. Ethical leadership is engineered in private long before it is tested in public. See, it's one thing to be smart and to have the wisdom and all of these other pieces. But if you can't control yourself and how you lead, then you're kind of imbalanced, right? And so we want to create that balance. And so literacy strengthens moral reasoning, perspective taking, emotional regulation, strategic restraint. When a child reads history deeply, they see consequences of revenge. When they analyze moral dilemmas in literature, they practice ethical decision making. When they write persuasive essays, they must defend positions logically, not emotionally. Reading builds empathy, writing builds clarity, and critical analysis builds discernment. Mandela didn't just feel forgiveness. He understood its strategic and moral necessity. That level of thinking requires long-term reflection, structured reasoning, emotional discipline, all literacy skills. Now, here's the difference between reaction and ethical leadership. Reaction is emotional, leadership is principled. Reaction reaction is immediate, right? And leadership is measured. Reaction protects ego, while leadership protects future generations. Mandela understood something profound. If he governed through anger, South Africa would fracture. If he governed through reconciliation, the nation could rebuild. He read the long arc of history. He analyzed power structures. He engineered stability. Ethics was not weakness, it was strategic strength. Now, how do we build ethical leadership at home, right? Or in our classrooms, because I don't like to leave nobody out, or literacy centers, after school programs, things of the like. Well, first, discuss moral dilemmas. After reading a story, ask, what was the hardest decision? Why do you think that? What would you have done if you was in that position? Teach reasoning beyond because it feels right. Next, teach perspective switching. Have your child argue both sides of an issue. This builds empathy and cognitive flexibility. I have shared before in previous episodes that when I have children doing persuasive writing, they have to know whatever that topic is, they have to list at least 5 hardcore reasons why they are for it and 5 hardcore reasons why they are against it. And each of those reasonings needs supporting details, right? If they decide to choose it for their writing. I always like to make sure that they feel equipped on both sides and that the class has had a discussion about it, because you may want to add to the list. You may want to take away from the list based on the discussions, right? And hearing things out. And so to do that, you have to have the conversation. You have to allow them to mentally flush things out. Let them see things from their perspective with other perspectives, and then go ahead on and start the writing. Next, reflective writing. Encourage journaling on personal values, difficult choices, leadership moments in daily life. Reflection builds internal governance. Then, model measured responses. Children learn ethical restraint by watching it. Slow responses, calm correction, and principled discipline. Mandela's 27 years of imprisonment became 27 years of internal preparation. We may not control our children's future trials, but we can prepare their thinking. You are not raising children to win arguments. You are raising children to steward influence. Ethical literacy means they can analyze power. They can resist impulsive reactions. They can lead without losing integrity. That is rare, and it's desperately needed. Mandela perceived and proved something extraordinary. The mind can remain free even when the body is confined. That freedom comes from disciplined thought. Now, I do have to, go out here on the limb and put this back into perspective. Are we allowing our children to create a thought, sit with the thought, stand with the thought, research the thought? Believe in the thought, challenge the thought. These are the things that not only build stamina, but they also build the layers of complex thinking. right? Complex responses. We want them to be able to articulate anything that they are that they feel that they want to stand with that is correct, or if they want to challenge it. And we want the evidence to support that. And we want them trained to go say, no, this is wrong because of A, B, and C. No, this is right because of A, B, and C. And then also have the discipline to say, okay, well, I agree with this, but I don't agree with that, or we can agree to disagree. We're also building their confidence into standing on what they believe, but also have empathy to hear another voice and another perspective, respectfully. If you want your child to one day lead a business, lead a community, lead a movement, then character must be trained alongside intellect. Inside the Offer as Homeschool Clarity Roadmap, we integrate moral reasoning into reading, structured debate into writing, historical pattern analysis into curriculum, leadership reflection practices. Because architects don't just build systems, they shape civilizations. This is the Literacy Reset, and today we reset ethical leadership. I hope that you have enjoyed that. I hope that you have been enjoying the series, period. Okay. I just want to put that out there. I also want to extend an invite into our school community. The Offer as Homeschool Studio is a literacy-centered strategy lab where intentional parents become architects. I will tell you, I'm putting the voiceovers into the Confident Reader and Writer course that can be purchased separately on the website, or if you are a member, you will have access to it inside the school. I'm trying to finalize that. The architect parent is already inside the group, so cheers for that. I think I just added the workbook this morning. The other thing is that I do have the webinar already scheduled, and I'm going to see how I can show you guys that really quickly before we go, because I want to share with you the framework that I have and I use to help build out a year, right? And so I have multiple dates because I understand that everyone has things going on. I have a lot of things going on. And I feel like we need to, look at the different perspectives. I'm trying to see, hold on, you guys, that we can bring into our literacy planning, the different elements that are necessary to make sure we have strong representation of the different focal points, and that we're not missing anything. Does everything need to be done in one day? Absolutely not. And I teach that too, because we build out in chunks. And so here I do have the page here, and you can see you just pick which date works for you. The first one is going to be March 26th. I'm doing a webinar at 1:30 and then again at 7:30. All right. And so you get to decide. You get to decide what date works for you and come join me. Let's talk about the framework. Let's talk about what's necessary. I know right now some people are feeling weary and tired. It's like, oh my God, is this school year almost over or what? Right? But let's talk about it. And then guess what? Let's plan out your year before next school year even gets here so you can enjoy your time and your summer, honey. That's where I'm at. I like to do it in advance. Certain things you do in advance, some things can be done last minute. Do this in advance, because then you could take your time getting whatever materials and things that you want. If you want to explore, if you want to change something around and so forth. And if you're in New York and you have to write your IHIP for your local school districts, then you want to be able to do this with grace and ease and say, okay, this is what my child is going to be focusing on. We're going to build based on this content here and already have it laid out. And so I do go through all of these different things. Some parts are in the webinar, some parts are going to be done straight in the school community. So, I just want to share that and put that out there. I will put the link to this in the chat. I think I can do that, right? In the messages. I want to do that. And hopefully, let's see. Hopefully everything works. Yeah, sign up for the lab. I found it. I'm going to put it there. I'll put it back in the descriptions as well. I'm going to go back and do a couple of the descriptions just in case. But yeah, join in. Let's talk about it. Let's prep. Let's get done. And so we can enjoy our full, bountiful summers with our little people. We are going to be doing a few things with gardening here for us. We're in New York, and so our weather, I'm just waiting for it to get a little warmer. Happy first day of spring. We saw snow this morning, okay? But to be able to do the hands-on learning, do things that are interesting, be able to master the skills. That's the flex. That is the real flex. And so I hope you have enjoyed. I am going to share some more information with you guys. And hopefully you'll join the Roadmap Intensive too, because that is going to start April 9th. That starts April 9th. That's when we work together for 4 weeks, planning out your child's entire school year. And I think I shared that before too. But like I said, I'll drop all of the links. I'll do that so that people know what the options and choices are. And of course, if you have questions, let me put the email up here. You can always send an email to support. All right. Well, you guys, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Tomorrow is another day, and we have a whole nother person to dive deep in on this reset. So please enjoy your afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow at the next Literacy Reset. What exactly do you do at Reading for Smiles? Let me show you. Our mission at Reading for Smiles is very simple. We help families raise confident readers, writers, and thinkers. We also produce a YouTube series called Literacy Reset, where we explore powerful literacy lessons through the lives of great thinkers, innovators, and leaders. We have a community called the R4S Homeschool Studio, where homeschool parents come together to learn, plan, and support each other. For parents inside the community, you guys can learn through 2 courses, the Architect Parent, which helps you design homeschool with intention, and the Confident Reader and Writer course, which is a framework for building strong literacy at home. We also offer a homeschool roadmap intensive, where we help parents plan their homeschool year with clarity. And for the babies, of course, we create literacy learning packs, have on-demand courses, and I also have ebooks for parents to help them strengthen their homeschools by developing reading, writing, and thinking skills and programs and projects in the house. If you're homeschooling and you want support raising strong readers and thinkers, then definitely come join our community on School. We can't wait to see you and have you there with us.